Jay.
Good morning, Sally. How are you?
You know what? I'm doing great. Had a
Good.
great weekend. How about you?
We did. We did.
Good,
Yes,
good,
yes.
good. Doing all the things. And I hope you guys had a great weekend.
Yes.
And those that did open houses, I hope you had a great turnout. I went to a few of those over the weekend on Sunday. So, it was a kind of a mixed bag of whether or not they were having a turnout. And I went to a lot of different style properties over the weekend. So let us know how you guys did. We'd like
Yes.
to have the pulse on that.
That's
So
right.
we're here because a couple weeks ago we were going to talk about gratitude and appreciation, and I ended up being sick. So
Yeah.
we decided to table that and come back around because we've gotten some good nuggets out of this little book.
We have, yes. It's
So
an easy read.
absolutely. And
So,
I like it because it's like there's small chapters and you can get nuggets out of each one of them. So it's not that time consuming and yet it's powerful.
so the book is Mr. Thank You,
Yeah.
John Israel.
So how I came up with this book is Real Producers had an event, a growth opportunity, right? And I went to that. It was really good. John Israel actually spoke in person and told us a little bit about his book and his project, the Mr. Thank You Project. And so, kind of set this up is we ordered. I ordered this book. He ran out right when I got up there, and he promised that he would mail it and ship it to me. And he would sign it on the inside, and I knew he would. He would keep that promise. So
And
I,
Sally got me a
yeah.
copy and he signed mine
He
too.
did. He did. Now,
Thank you,
what is
Sally.
yours says the same thing. When we
It
opened it up,
does.
he signed it and he said, "Sally, find the gift." That is what his note was, and I love that because I heard all about the Mr. Thank You project. But the reason why he did 5 handwritten notes a day for 365 days was as a young man, he actually was in sales while he was in college, and he was a top salesman. He was a high achiever, and he was successful, but internally he was broken. Like he was missing joy. He was really like, "What's next for me?" And he went to a seminar, much like this one that I went to, and looking for growth, looking to expand him. And then at that class that he went to, the nugget or his aha, as we like to say in KW
Yes.
World, was inside every life experience, there is a gift. Your job is to find it. Right. So if you think about, you might be hitting your goals, and this may be some of you out there right now. You might be hitting your goals and feeling really great about that success, but there's something else going on that's hard for you. It could be a breakup, a financial setback, all of the things that cause us to go into negativity. Right? So there are moments where gratitude doesn't come easy and it doesn't feel like a soft, fuzzy feeling. It feels like a discipline or a choice. So I know you've kind of flipped through the
Yes,
book.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So one of the first things that I took was the gratitude gap in a fast-moving world. Would you agree that in today's society, everything is instant gratification? You stick something in the
Yes.
microwave instead of the oven, right? The latest and greatest iPhone. Like I thought I had it. This is a 16, and I just learned that the 17's
Oh
already
no,
out.
I'm 2 or 3 versions behind already then.
So it's like we've got to keep up. We've got to keep up. And
Yeah.
then the point that I want to make is when society moves at a warp speed, our ability to be present and grateful can't keep up unless we intentionally slow down.
And you know what? That's a lot of time. That's hard for
It
high
is.
achievers as well. Are you guys out there working and doing all the things? It's easy to pick up on how things went wrong, what's going on at home, and being present at home in your
That's right.
family.
That's right. I've
Yeah.
told agents often that it's important for everything to be an appointment. So it took me a little bit. I'm 27 years in now in the business, and it took me a minute. And when I made everything an appointment, including my family dinner at 6 o'clock, when I had that pants on fire moment call from a buyer that wanted to go see that house at 6 o'clock.
Right.
And I wanted to jump in the car and do it, right? It's a sale. Who wouldn't? And when I put things first that mattered the most, everything else fell in line. So I would say, I've got an appointment at 6 o'clock tonight already. Does 10 or 2 work better for you tomorrow? I still put it in a lane that was convenient and workable in my schedule. However, because I gave them the choice of which one to choose, it made them feel like the driver, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we, for John, this book is really about what he learned from doing 5 thank you cards of gratitude every single day for 365 days. And this came from a coaching session, right?
And the part that I loved was he could only write 3 people a year.
Yeah.
Like he can only send a total of 3 to you or to me or to whoever he's writing to.
Because
That's a lot of cards, Sally.
It is a lot of cards, and I get we know that if we've promised ourselves we're going to do the thing, and he was accountable to it. If he didn't do 5 every day, he had to pay $1,000. He got to pay $1,000 to a charity, and he started running out of, who am I going to write a card to? He started looking for things to appreciate. And the book says, what you appreciates. So, he wanted to change the world with gratitude. So the reason why Mr. Thank You Project came up, too, is he was a salesperson for Cutco knives. And many of you have used Cutco products as a thank you, right, for a closing gift. So he found that something that gave him joy was creating an experience where people are getting thanked, and it stemmed from that role with Cutco knives. And then he said, what if I could change the world, even 1%, just by this initiative? I will feel like my life has purpose other than just check I'm the top salesperson in the company. I could make a difference in the entire world, but I have to start with me. It's kind of like that story, and I've heard you tell it, what we learned in Bold, where the father puts the torn up paper on the glass table to kind of distract the child while he read the newspaper. And the child, he did it really quickly, and Dad was like, I'm so proud of you. How did you do that, right? And it was like a map of the United States that the child was supposed to put together. But he goes, Dad, it fell on the floor. And so when I looked up at the pieces that were left, I realized the other side was a picture of a man's face. And so when I put the man together, the world came together. Right? Yeah. So I think that's one of the things he noticed. And through this, there were people that were strangers, and he had to get to know them. So we had to ask a lot of questions to those people to find out a little bit about what made them tick and give them gratitude for what they're doing.
Well, and wouldn't you say gratitude is contagious? The more we give, the more we receive. One of the things that I noted was it multiplies.
Yeah.
So the question that I would have is it truly possible to live every day with a grateful heart? Sally's heard me say to people, we get to wake up every single morning and choose whatever we decide we want to wear. We get to choose from our closet. We have an array of different clothing articles, right? We get to choose what we're going to wear each day. Well, we also get to choose how we show up every day. And are we going to be grateful?
Right.
Are we going to be complaining, right? And who you surround yourself with matters.
Right.
So why aren't we all grateful and live this, as Jenny Brockman says, be nice, right?
Right, be nice.
Be grateful. Yeah.
I mean, I know, in the past, in some of the KW classes, they talk about, and bringing that into real estate transactions, being grateful and giving gratitude for the person or the agent on the other side bringing someone to the table, right? Let Mr. Seller, let's not be angry that this is a low offer. Let's be grateful that someone's bringing an offer. We're grateful they saw value enough to come to the table, and saying thank you and giving gratitude to the agent on the other side and appreciating things they're doing in the transaction that you like, not thinking about and complaining about the things they're not doing or how they're not showing up. Like, what would that look like?
Sure.
If you put a little bit of that in your practice every day.
Well, it brings abundance, and abundance doesn't start with receiving. It starts with recognizing and then releasing.
Yeah. He learned through this that he had some inner demons that he was dealing with through personal things that happened in his life, and that sometimes a thank you or this thank you note project that he was doing, he only got like 10% of the individuals he wrote, like over, I think it was 1,800 cards. Only 10% of the people that he sent the cards to actually acknowledged that he sent the card. And then he had to realize, well, I'm not sending it, so they'll reciprocate that. And it talks about a gratitude loop and being okay with giving gratitude just for the gratitude's sake and
right.
not expecting something in return.
That's right.
Because then that becomes about you.
That's right. That's right.
And I think as humans we do that, right? There's that story of his 8-year-old self, right?
That's
Where
right.
he was at the Christmas gathering and he got the expensive walkie-talkies and his cousins got 8 gifts and he couldn't get past that was where the looking for the gift comes in. He couldn't get past that they got 8 and he got 1, even though his was more expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I think about Christmas. I think
Yeah.
about holiday time. I think about when we light our tree up. Are we grateful for the bulbs that do come on? Or are we so concentrated on the ones of like, which ones are not going to come on today?
I know some of you felt that at a high level.
I have, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cross your fingers, cross your toes. Here we go. Plug, zoop. Yeah.
See, I just go buy new bulbs. I just go buy new strands. I'm like,
Well,
oh, this one doesn't work.
I know some people that go buy a new tree.
Well, that is the tree
that's
that
not us,
no,
by the way.
the tree that already has the lights on it. Yeah,
Right.
just fill in the lights. Well, one of the things he did, looking for places to show gratitude is, and it has to do with Christmas lights. He was walking his child in the neighborhood, and they were brand new to the neighborhood. They didn't know the neighbors, and then there was a neighbor that was like all out, like the satellite could see the house, like it was that
Okay.
legit. And he was like, it gave my child so much joy to see that. I'm going to write them a note of gratitude and thank them for letting us have an amazing, happy moment just in that walking down the road. So you could absolutely, you don't have to do 5 thank you cards a day. Actually, he was like, you might not. That was not easy.
Whew, that's a lot.
Not easy every single day. And how can you change the world with gratitude and what
Yeah.
you appreciate?
Yeah.
Even if it's 1 note card a day, a week, whatever that looks like, just having it, that spirit for sure.
Something else that I wrote was gratitude changes your lens. So it affects how you handle stress, how you treat your body, and that even includes what you order at lunch, right?
Oh, now he's meddling.
How you honor your commitments. A grateful life equals a more respectful life to yourself and to others.
So, gratitude is a habit.
That's right. I think about
Right.
the 66-day challenge, right,
Yeah.
that we do here at Keller Williams. That's for a reason.
Right.
So what if we started simple and just showed gratefulness vocally, right? Just the people you're around several times a day.
I think you'll see people light up, and maybe it's something that they needed in the moment that you don't know what they're going through, and your simple act of appreciation or gratitude could give them what they needed that day.
Yeah.
You didn't even realize it.
Well, go back to the art of Christmas lights. They sent that note to that family.
Yeah.
Don't you know the next year when that family put their lights up, they were thinking,
Yeah.
people like this. We love it, and others enjoy it.
Right. And,
So-
no one else was, and there were a lot of people that probably appreciated the lights, but they never said it.
Right.
They never gave them that.
I mean, they don't have an obligation to put those lights up every year, right? They get to. It's an opportunity.
Right. And they're putting it up because they want to give joy to the world and make it festive and happy. They want it spread that happiness project, right?
Right.
And that be nice and be joyful. I know there was one story that he had in the book where he was, doing all of the gratitude notes, and he was like, well, I haven't sent some of the people in my family a gratitude note, so he sent one to his mom, and evidently his mom lived somewhere else, and he had many brothers and sisters. John did, and she didn't. She was the one that didn't say anything about getting the note. And then later on, she mentioned, hey, I know you're doing this project and you sent me this note, but what I really need is for you and your brothers and sisters to help me, because his father had Parkinson's and she had been the caregiver for that. And she said, what I need is for each one of you to take a week off from work and come here and give me a break. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's not words that people need, it's actions. And the beauty of that is that each one of the brothers and sisters did that, and his father didn't live long. After all of those weeks went by, his father passed away. So their gift was they spent that time with their dad. So that all came about because of the Thank You Project, and it opened up conversations, around that. And that was a blessing for him.
Right. And different people have different love languages too.
Right.
That was her love language, was to be in person. Mm-hmm. Help me, help your dad, right? Yeah.
I think one of the things he said, he saw his wife going through, taking care of their babies. And she had just had I think it was their second baby, and he saw all the things she was doing. She was up all night nursing the baby. She was doing a lot of things. He was going off, and he was doing the Mr. Thank You Project at the time. And so he was like, I appreciate her so much. I'm going to, he sat down and he spent hours writing this letter to her that he said is the best love letter of all time. So, of course, he's coming down the stairs the next day thinking she's going to be like, oh, this is so fantastic. Not one word was said. Like, weeks went by, and he was like, what in the world? So one day he came down, and they were out of coffee, and he had forgotten to get it, and she was like, oh, great, I don't have coffee, blah, 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 blah. So he took extra time to stop, even though he was going to be late to an appointment, and get a Starbucks for her and drop it off on the front porch with a note that says, I love you, I'm sorry, enjoy your coffee. And he was like, she did an Instagram reel on that,
Of course.
So, yes. That love language piece of that was huge. She didn't need the 5-page sonnet.
Right.
It was about that. I see you and I'm sorry, and this is important to you right now.
And giving gratitude is like a muscle, right?
Yeah.
We have when we go to the gym. Well, when y'all go to the gym,
it's on my calendar to go today.
Yes. So when you go to the gym, you work your body out. Some days you work different parts of your body, and it's working the muscle. And that's showing gratitude is the same thing. We have to exercise and demonstrate being grateful.
I think so too. And in this, he said when we were in the class, he said most of the time someone will ask him, well, what's the return on investment of you doing that? And he said, you know what, there is a return of investment, but this project wasn't about the return on investment of saying thank you. He said, in fact, there were some individuals that I thought I had grown close to and had business relationships, and because of a hiccup in a delivery or something, we were not in a comfortable place anymore. And he talks about writing peace cards in here also to those that it may not feel comfortable to give a gratitude card, or you might think that they're not going to accept your gratitude, right? But it gives you a release on the feelings around that, so you can feel healthy.
Right. One of the notes that I wrote was some people fear that expressing gratitude creates pressure to reciprocate. So flip that mindset. Gratitude opens the door to deeper relationships, purpose-driven decisions, and joyful living.
It does, especially when you don't have the idea that there should be a reciprocation, that it's that genuine peace.
Right.
And, receiving a gift and perceiving it a gift are two different
That's
are two
right.
different things. And I guess that's that whole journey he went through with his wife too in that coffee. She received something. He thought it was a gift. She didn't perceive it as a gift. She knew he was doing this project. So there probably was some time, especially with the people around him, that it felt like, oh, well, I know you're doing a project to check the boxes, right? And so it did create in him a sense of looking at what people do around you every single day and really genuinely noticing how that affects you in your world and giving that thank you to it.
Yeah, yeah. So the only way to get it wrong, how do you get giving great gratitude wrong?
Because
You
you
s-
don't give it.
That's right. You stop.
See,
That's it. The
yeah.
only way you mess up gratitude is stop giving or stop receiving.
Oh, that's huge. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about not receiving gratitude from someone. Are you guys thinking, well, that doesn't sound like what anybody would do, but we do it. I've noticed that I've done it.
Sure.
Have
Yeah.
you ever had someone give you a gratitude about or praise you about something you're doing and you're like, no, really, no. Like your body language is pushing back not to receive it. You want to deflect it onto something else or say you don't deserve it.
Right. Right. I have seen someone have a nice payday, and they were like, "That's too much money." Like, I really, and I'm thinking, no, you worked hard for this. You do deserve it, or a bonus, or that kind of thing. So yeah,
Do you think, and I'm going to ask this question, do you think that that is something that they've said or something that might be just internal, like it's an internal
I
thing?
think it's internal.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
for sure, for sure. What else do we want to talk about with Mr. Thank You?
Well, I think it's if you guys are interested in some of the things that I believe that there are a lot of pieces in this can help you personally when it talks about gratitude and being authentic, and also some of the ways he failed forward on this. It's definitely worth a flip through, because you can look at, like, what is gratitude. You can flip to a couple of pages that says, the peace letters, those things, blessing bags. So and how you can even have a gratitude group and change the world or change your world 1% at a time. And because when we do a little bit of something,
That's right.
it multiplies.
Right. Be mindful, right?
Yeah.
Like, be intentional, like we said
Right.
earlier.
Right.
So something I'd like to do is I have a box of cards
Okay.
that I'm going to put on the table out in the hallway of the leadership hallway.
Okay.
So the next time that you're in the office, we would love for you to, first of all, stop by and say hello. Also, guys, we're here for you all. Let us know how we can support you in your business. And when you're in the hallway, grab one of those cards and mail it to somebody that day that you come in, right?
Yeah, it could be about anything.
That's right.
A small gratitude.
So Sally did this exercise. We had a leadership team meeting last week, and I had her do a leadership moment, and she had a stack of cards on the middle of the table. I kind of had an idea of what she was doing because, we've read this book, but the rest of the team, I don't think they knew what was going on. And she went through some of this talk with the leadership team, and she gave everybody a card and asked them to write a note of gratitude. But the cool thing, Sally, was you shared it. You and I both have a smile file, right?
You do.
And if you don't, you need one. It's
Yes.
at your desk, and whenever you're having one of those rotten days, you pull something out of the smile file. So she brought this note that someone had written you years ago.
Oh, yeah,
right? Tell
before
the
I-
story.
So I was looking through, I have a folder with the smile file, and that's just a smile file is if someone does something, sends you a note, gives you something that made you smile. They were giving you gratitude. You can save it and reflect back on it later, especially when you're having a bad day, right? When you're getting down on yourself. So I had that smile file, and I had it in another folder with my disc and my KPA, the personal things. And I was actually looking in my KPA disc folder, and I had that out, and I had all this at home. And I opened that up, and a note fell out that had not gotten in my smile file. But I don't think anything happens like, I think that was for a reason. And it was a lender that was in Cleveland, and I had spent a lot of time preparing for an ALC retreat, like hours and hours. And the strategic partners got to come to that event. So they were in the room getting the same content as the ALC. And she wrote me the sweetest handwritten note about the thank you of the work that I did and how it blessed her. And that fell out of that paperwork, and that actually made me smile. So in our conversation in our staff meeting, Jay said, what would it look like if you wrote her a thank you or gave her a thank you for the note you found? So I took a picture of me with the note and told her that I had found it, and that it came at the best time, even though, I mean, we're talking 6 or 7 or 8 years ago.
That's cool.
So yeah, and you wrote me an appreciation card too.
Yeah.
The
Did you
next
find
day
it this morning?
I did. I
Or was
found
it
it.
Friday
Yes, it
morning?
was Friday morning.
Yes. Yeah.
So those are some things that just are small things that gives you some energy and some wind beneath your wings for the day when you give to others without expectation of receiving.
It is such a
Right.
good feeling,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And what KWRI teaches us, right?
Yeah.
Earn $1 million, give $1 million.
And that's what money does for you.
That's right.
Right.
It's not about the money, it's about what the money can do
Right.
for you.
Right.
So write more gratitude cards. Give gratefulness to those that you surround yourself with.
Yes.
Is really the bottom line.
And guess what, you guys? We're grateful for every one of you.
Right. Yeah.
We get to do this thing that we're doing because of you guys. And all of us together is the reason why KW is great. It's because of you.
That's right.
So let us tell you thank you today for everything that you do. Every time you meet a client, every time you go out with the Keller Williams Greater Chattanooga umbrella with your name on it, underneath it, you make us shine. And we appreciate what you're doing out in the communities. It's really huge.
Yes, we do.
All right, you guys have a great week.
Take care.